Well, with rovers landing on Mars and increasing efforts to get humans to the red planet, Earth and space are endless fascinations that continue to prompt awe, wonder, and endless questions. And to address some of the most pressing questions about Earth and space is astrophysicist and director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York City is Neil DeGrasse Tyson, author of Cosmic Queries, Star Talk's Guide to Who We Are and How We Got Here and Where We Are Going. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Tyson. First, one of the questions you address in your book is how did the universe get to be the way it is and not some other way? I've never really actually thought about this, but what other way could there be for the universe to have formed?
That's a great question. And by the way, these questions are not questions that I came up with. These are questions that have lurked within us as humans ever since we've been humans and have been able to look up. And the interesting thing about being human, we have this sense of curiosity for the unknown, but add to that a dose of wonder, and it opens up a whole other category of questions. How did it all begin? What's it all made of? Are we alone in the universe? How will it all end? And some of those questions, we don't have a good answer yet. We have some answers we're poking at, and there's some where we don't even know if we're asking the right question. And so this book is a celebration of human curiosity. And I'm sorry, you asked about what specifically?
The universe.
It was
the way the universe is formed.
Why
It's
is it this way?
Everything's fascinating. So yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on that.
So here's what you can do. You can line up all the laws of physics and say, if these are the laws of physics that we have hard-earned discovered, and then you throw matter and energy and space and time at it, you can ask, what effect will these laws of physics have on all of this stuff? And what you see is that it begins to carve out the existence of matter instead of antimatter, stars, galaxies. Then there's these two mysterious things, dark matter and dark energy.
Yes.
That's in the universe too. We don't know what's causing that. It's 95% of all that is driving the universe. So what an interesting situation we're in. We know enough about the universe to quantify how much we don't know about the universe.
Exactly. It always leads to more questions.
So, yeah, and this notion about we have the universe that we're stuck with our own laws of physics, in the multiverse concept, universes are punched out at the beginning that could have slightly different laws of physics associated with them, with different amounts of matter versus energy. And that's fun to think about. It'd be dangerous to visit. If you get a wormhole opening to them, I'd stay here. Because if the charge on the electron is a little bit different, you could just collapse into a pile of goo.
So I was going to ask you about the multiverse theory. So you have to have existed in that multiverse in order to survive. So we couldn't go to another multiverse. But is that a real, we know it's a theory, but is it something that's really studied a lot?
You have a lot of people are deep into it because we didn't just invent it out of the ether. There are cogent reasons for thinking that the mechanism that forms our universe has the capacity to form an unlimited number of other universes. And so you need to explore the implications of that. Even if you're never going to visit the other universe, it may be that these calculations will reveal something else that you can test. All right, so just because right out of the box it's like, we'll never know, that shouldn't stop you from continuing to probe what the equations tell us.
It continues to unveil new questions and new ideas. Now, you write in your book about these really tiny animals here on Earth, and they're called tardigrade, or what they call water bears, and they could be used as a key here to understanding traveling to other planets. Tell us a little bit about that.
I love me some tardigrades. Okay, the water bears. They're microscopic, just barely microscopic, and they seem to be hard to kill. All right, you can't starve them. You can't. If you withhold water from them, they'll curl up and go into some hibernistic state, and you can add water later, like years, possibly even thousands of years later, and they just pop back to life. You can radiate them. You can so you can ask, why would any creature on Earth be able to survive that level of assault? There's no obvious reason for that, unless the tardigrade was a stowaway from a rock cast into space from another planet. maybe
interesting.
Mars.
Yeah. Gotta ask
And
them
all the
questions.
microbes, have to survive the freeze-dried temperatures and the heat of reentry, the radiation from space. And if you happen to be a microbe that survives that, then you take those properties to your next planet.
All right.
And so our tardigrades tell us a lot about did we begin somewhere else? And in the concept of panspermia, life begins on another planet and then travels and takes taproot somewhere else.
So many interesting
So there's a tardigrade
thoughts.
evidence of this.
And you addressed
Yes.
a lot of these things in the book. Neil deGrasse Tyson, thank you so much. Cosmic Queries, Star Talk's guide to who we are, how we got here, and where we are going. Thank you so much. We look forward to getting your book on the bookshelves now.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.